It's Danielle Lane. Welcome back to Worthy Soul. And if this is your first time being here, welcome. Thank you for joining. And as like I said before, my name is Danielle Elaine. And we all want to make sure that we be with someone who will take care of us. Not materialistically, but take care of our soul, our well being, our heart, and everything that is us. All those things. And yes, this is a quote that somebody else said. So no, I didn't say it, and don't try to be talking about some plagiarism. Don't try to turn me into the people. No, somebody else said it. I don't know who said it. It's unknown, but they said it. But what they said really was a lot. And I know that it's something that is hard to do because, one, we live in a society that talks about, for women especially, it's always about what the man could do for you financially. And at the end of the day, that's cool. But what is finances when your heart is broke? What is finances when you feel like you always alone? What is finances when you're with somebody that's dismissive to what you need? Nothing. All that is a roof over your head and a lonely, cold soul. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't want that. I hope the men don't want that. I hope us women don't want that. Like, yes, we should take care of each other financially, both parties. You feel me? If you can't do it for them financially, don't expect them to do it for you financially, number one. I always say that. That's always my rule of thumb is expect out of somebody only what you're capable and willing to give them. And if they do better, you can't do nothing but be grateful. But if they don't, humble yourself and say, this is what I deserve because this is what I can offer. But at the end of the day, we all deserve for our souls to be taken care of, for our well being to be taken care of, our hearts to be taken care of, and anything else that comes with us that cannot be bought. And I learned that number one, first off, this can be such a hard thing to receive or to get because we don't even know what that looks like for ourselves. Sometimes we weren't taught that all the time. We weren't always taught to pay attention to our feelings, pay attention to what we're going through, pay attention to our emotions, pay attention to why I feel this way, why I'm upset, why X, Y, and Z. We weren't always taught to do that. A lot of us were taught to just get through it, move forward, keep going. Don't let it disrupt your day. But at the end of the day, it disrupts your day whether or not you recognize it or not. Whether you try to pretend like it's not happening and it doesn't matter, it still matters. So, in order for us to get taken care of by somebody that we choose to be with, we have to make sure that we're doing that for ourselves. We have to make sure that we checking in with ourselves. We're handling ourselves with care, and we are always being willing to take the time out of our day, out of our busy schedule, whatever it is, to see what we need and to say, how can I better serve myself? How can I provide myself with a safe environment so that I feel comfortable enough telling myself how I feel? Like, really just explaining to myself, expressing to myself why I'm sad, why I'm mad, maybe why I'm happy, what I need to be happy. What do I need so that I'm not mad? What do I need so that I can show up as my best self for myself? So that when I meet somebody, I am able to say, hey, these are the things I need so that number one, I could be the best partner for you, but also so that I could want to be with you, right? Like, so that I could still want to be in whatever environment that you create for us. I want to make sure that I'm able to say, like, yeah, I could survive in this environment because it's nothing like being with somebody and being in an environment that is just hostile. Like, especially being in a hostile environment with somebody that feel like because they take care of you materialistically, you should be grateful. Like, those are the worst situations to be in. Don't never let nobody tell you that money and things are enough because they only enough for 5 minutes. Because as soon as that person starts yelling at you, as soon as that person starts being dismissive, as soon as that person starts to really attack your character and insult you and things like that, That material stuff don't matter. It don't matter. It's not gonna make a difference. You not gonna care. You just gonna be like, no. Cause who are you? Like, how do you think that's okay? But you have to make sure that those are the things that you're not doing to yourself. Cause sometimes we do insult ourselves. Sometimes we ain't the nicest to ourselves. Sometimes we're not the one always providing affirmations to ourselves. Sometimes we're the ones being the most critical of ourselves. So we want to make sure that we remember that in order for us to be with somebody that takes care of us and take care of everything that entails us outside of material and financial things, we have to make sure that we do those things for ourselves first and know that we show people how to deal with us. We show people how to take care of us. And if we're not able to show them, we cannot expect them to be able to do it. That is the best recipe to you being able to say, I did the best that I could. I set myself up for success. It's because I made sure that I did the work that I needed to do so that when I got with the person that I wanted to be with, or I potentially could see a future with, I'm able to convey to them all the things that I need them to do to be able to take care of me. What that looks like, and sometimes you gotta, be willing to figure out some alternatives. Compromise, have a little wiggle room. And also, you do have to give that person space and room to grow sometimes into certain things. And give them a little grace and mercy and recognize that things don't happen overnight. And some things that are barriers for why they're not able to take care of you in the way that you need them to is because they've been that way for a long time. So you have to give them time to work through it. Now, you can see when somebody's working and when somebody's not, when somebody's just trying to buy time. If they're just trying to buy time, that's different. But if you see that they're genuinely working and they are just struggling, just have a little more grace and mercy for them. And if that's who you really want to be with and you feel like they have the potential to take care of you in the way that you need to be taken care of, work with them. Work with them until it's not safe. If it becomes unsafe, it don't matter. Just don't work with them. But if it's safe and it's just more of like I wish you would get it together faster. We all need time. We all need time sometimes to get through things, to work at things, and to a lot of times reconfigure and undo certain behaviors and habits that may be causing us issues with who we're with. Sometimes that's us, not just the person we with, that's us sometimes. But another reason that this is important, that we do make sure that we find somebody that can take care of our soul, our heart, our well-being, and everything that comes with that, is because this person is setting up conditions that you need to be able to survive. And so if they cannot produce the conditions that you need to be able to survive, and you cannot produce the conditions that they need to be able to survive healthily in a healthy way, it's going to be pure torment dealing with that person. It's just going to be a drag. It's going to feel like literal pins and needles being poked in your eyes. And you're going to resent them. They're going to resent you, and it's not going to be a good time. So we want to make sure that we are intentional about becoming the person that we need to be taking care of us. So that when we get with the person that we think has potential to be with us, we are both able to provide and create environments that are healthy for us to survive in. And also, we want to also recognize that just as well as we need things from them, they need things from us. And it is literally a team work, a team. So we need to do teamwork, but we have to make sure that we're on the same team. Sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we find people and we're like, oh, they got potential, but we don't really know what that person wants. We don't really know what they want out of a relationship. We don't know if they want to be married. We don't know if they want to be nice to their partner. We don't know if they want their partner to even really partake in their life. So we have to make sure that we take the time to understand who we're trying to be with, to get their point of view of what they believe they want their relationship to be about, and what they want their relationship to look like, and what they want to do for their partner, so that we can be able to identify, are they even capable of giving me the things that I need? Do they even want to give those things to me? Because if they don't want to, then we aren't doing nothing but really setting ourselves up for failure and disappointment. Because why are you going to ask somebody to do something for you that they've already conveyed to you, or you clearly see they don't want to do? So now you're going to get upset with them for not being adequate enough for you, but they've already shown you that that's not even something they're trying to be. So we always have to make sure that we take time to assess the person that we say that we want to give us these things, that we say we want to take care of us, that we say we want them to take care of our soul, take care of our heart, take care of our well-being, take care of everything that involves us. Like, is that something they said they want to do? Because if they said they don't want to do it, why waste my time and their time? Like, that just doesn't seem smart. And on top of that, why even put ourselves in a situation of hell? Because at that point, we're just waiting. We're just like a ticking time bomb waiting to happen, because it's inevitable that I'm going to get mad at you for not doing the things that I asked you to do, because you've already told me that you don't want to do those. But I just choose to pretend like I didn't hear that and say that I'm going to be good enough for them to want to do that. Like, no. If they already voiced to you that they don't want that in a relationship, it doesn't make them wrong, and it does not make them a project to fix. It's more so of like, thank you for being honest with me. I really appreciate you. Let me make sure that I recognize really your request, because your request is, this is how I want to show up in my relationship. And if this is how I want to show up in my relationship and that's good enough for you, you should come here. But don't stay here and get mad at me for not showing up in my relationship in a way that I never signed up to show up in. And also, another way to recognize if a person, that I've learned, is another way to recognize if a person is able to do the things that we want them to do for us, is like, check out and assess, like, do they do those things for themselves? Do they care about their own feelings? Do they care about their soul? Do they care about their well-being? Do they care about their heart? Do they care about anything that I care about for myself? Do they care about that for themselves? Anything that I want them to do for me, do they do it for themselves? Because if they don't, it is not a wise choice or a wise idea for us to expect them to do those things for us. Because one, if they do choose to do them, 9 times out of 10, it's probably not going to be from a genuine place. It's probably not going to be out of the kindness out of their heart. It's probably going to be with some sort of ulterior motive to get something out of us. And as soon as they don't get it out of us, trust and believe, 9 times out of 10, we gonna hear about whatever they did for us and why we should do whatever they want us to do, because they did X, Y, and Z that they really didn't want to do. And if they would have known that you wasn't gonna do for them what they needed you to do, they wouldn't have did that. And then guess what? Now we create another hostile environment, because now it's like, dang, I really thought you was doing that for me because you cared about me, because you really, you really messed with me in that type of way. You really felt like I was worthy of you doing these things for me, you making these sacrifices for me. But all in all, I see that now that's not the truth. Like, you just wanted something that I didn't even say I wanted to do for you. You know what I mean? Like, then we get in this vicious cycle of like everybody expecting things out of a person that neither one of us said we were. So, all in all, I'm just saying, let's be wise in the choices that we make when it comes to dating and choosing somebody that we want to spend time with, spend parts of our life with, and potentially spend the rest of our life with, married to. Make sure that whoever they say they are, that we want that person. And whoever they say they want to be, that we honor and recognize that that's who they're telling us they're going to be for us. And even if they don't tell us, if we recognize through their actions that that's who they are, or that's who they want to be, like, honor that. So that you don't get your feelings hurt. So that, you ain't upset because you can't believe they did X, Y, and Z. But everything that they've shown you has shown you and told you that they are capable of doing X, Y, and Z if they really felt like it. If they really felt like it. So, yes, materialistic things is not everything, and it should not be the first thing on your list of things that you want in a partner. According to me, though. According to me, everybody's different, but for me, I know that it's not. For me, I know that it's definitely to be taken care of emotionally, my soul taken care of, my well being taken care of, my heart taken care of, and everything else. Because I've been with people that have like when we was into it, that have really made me feel like if I something happens to me right now while we're not on the best of terms, your level of care will probably be very minimal. And it's like, why be with somebody that can't care about you in the same way as when you guys are on good terms? Like, that's not wise. And you know, I made that unwise decision a few times. I had to learn that that's what was going on. But once I understood it and I recognized the patterns of the people that it was coming from, I can now recognize like this person probably won't care about me either if we're not on the best of terms. But I had to be accountable to myself and say that when I recognize that, I have to be willing to call it out. I have to be willing to say, you know what, I don't think this situation is for us or for me for sure, because who you want to be is just not going to work for me. I'm not saying it's nothing against you specifically, like personally, but it's something against you because I can't be with you. So maybe the next person, though, there's probably somebody else that wants to be with you, but just not me, you know? And that's taking care of ourselves. And that's what it's all about, is that making sure that we take care of ourselves so that when we expect somebody else to take care of us, they know what they're doing, because we can let them know what to do because we've already figured out how to do it for ourselves. And then we already kind of am doing R. Ooh, y'all, I told y'all about my English, my grammar, my spelling, my vocab. We working on it. But so that we are able to give them what they need as well. So that we are able to, and sometimes possibly help them to figure it out for themselves and be able to convey it to us because we've already done it ourselves. So we know what the process looks like and we know what words they may be needing or what, little starting points, places to start from. And at the end of the day, we can help each other, help our relationship, and help our situations. So always remember that you are worthy of being with somebody that you are able to be for them. You are worthy of taking the time to assess and recognize, like, who would this person say they wanted to be in their relationship? What did they say they wanted to do for their partner? And honoring those things, not being quick to judge them. We don't want to judge anybody. Always want to assess, and honor. Assess and honor who they are and what they want to be, so that in return they're able to honor and assess who we are and what we want to be, and we're both able to recognize, are we good fit for this situation? Yes, let's try. And if not, it's cool. No hard feelings. But we now know what to look for moving forward as well. So as I said, always remember that your soul is worth the work. You can do the work and you will do the work. Just take the time that's necessary to do the work, and don't be afraid of the work. There is nothing to fear, because on the other side of the work is nothing but greatness. Couple tears probably. It's gonna be hard. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be great, but it's always gonna be worth it. Always remember to like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, share, and give feedback. Constructive criticism, whatever you want to call it. Help me improve while I help you improve, and let's help each other improve on this road and journey of life.